Hi Gemini, this is your August 2020 tarot forecast. So this is a general reading for Gemini Sun, Moon, Rising, and for all you lovers, it's for your Gemini Venus signs as well. So if you're a Gemini Venus, for example, watching this, I would treat this reading as a love or a romance reading. Otherwise, it's going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising Geminis. All right, what do you need to know for August 2020? Oops. I don't know if it's really sticky and hot where you guys are, wherever you're in the world watching this, but it's really hot here, so my cards might be a little bit sticky and a little bit hard to manage. Yeah, it's August. What the heck? I don't know where the time went, but here we are, more than midway through 2020, and congratulations, because if you're watching this, that means that you made it. What a crazy year. Messages for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for August 2020. Messages for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, August 2020. All right, so we have the Six of Swords jumping out, as you can see here. I won't take the others that aren't upright. It'll be interesting to see if it shows up in your actual reading today. But the Six of Swords is really talking about balance. Whenever we see the six, no matter what the suit, we're looking at a balance or a recalibration. Certainly with the Six of Swords, it's of the mind, right? So mind, thoughts, ideas, even communication can be balanced. You could be moving on to smoother waters, but remember, the sixes usually follow a little period of chaos. Yeah, so you could have had some options here. It could be making a move into a new direction here. You had some options that filled your heart. Maybe there was a soulmate situation, or you made your decision and now you can move into maybe a passionate future together, or whether it's a work project. Again, this is a general reading. However, if you are a Gemini Venus, that would definitely be a love reading situation. It could be that you're developing passion with someone who captured your heart, or at least your attention. Messages for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for August. All right, guys, so let's get out your Celtic cross for you. As I normally do, I will be getting 4 extra messages from each of the oracle decks following your reading today. So let's see what's... Okay, so I'm really glad that I purposely don't edit my work. I know that you, whether you appreciate that or not, I hope that you do. I don't edit it for reasons like this, because it would almost appear like I was just going to make that happen, but there's no way to making that happen. So it's very interesting that your central situation for the entire month is the first card that jumped out. And recognize here we have a little bit of a broken heart at the foundation of it. So it could be that it's really nice to see that there is a leveling up here. We not only have a double digit, right? We went from 3 to 6. That means you're able to walk away from something, move away from something. A lot of heart was involved. Could, you know, we are looking at a walk-away situation, so very much a walk-away situation, right? Moving away from something that was taxing your heart, troubling your heart. You could be dealing with or have recently dealt with a Pisces or 12th house situation. Here's that 5, a little bit of conflict, possibly around the home. You could feel like you lost something with regard to your home. We do have some healing energy coming in, and you could feel stuck for a final solution at the end of the month. Very interesting reading for you guys. Let's see the bottom of the deck energy, and I'm going to treat this bottom of the deck card, as you just saw, as sort of the basket that your reading is sitting in today, what we're looking at here. Oops, sorry, I didn't realize you couldn't see that. And it is the Devil. So the author of this deck calls the Devil card Temptation. I think Temptation, just like she calls the Judgment card Call. There is a lot of meaning in the language. So for example, call is a calling. It could be a second chance, right? But Judgment is a way for you to re-examine something after a healing period. Certainly we have Judgment. We have a 2 of Swords over here. Remember, we're dealing with a lot of Swords energy. A lot of this is in your mind or being communicated somehow. And definitely affecting the way you feel and affecting maybe even assets, outcomes. I'm going to insist here, you might just feel alone more than physically being alone, or there could be this perception if there was a breakup or a fallout. But certainly there is a decision here, a choice that needs to be made. It is curious. I might even get a follow-up card out of the tarot for the Hangman. We do have a little bit of a... the Hangman sort of comes with a question mark, so I'm probably going to follow up on that with some more energy from the tarot. But it looks like you're even unsure about what decision it is to make. And let's look at why, because your current predicament looks like this is fresh. This might have just happened. You could also be dealing with, I did mention a Pisces individual here. You could be dealing with an Aquarius or Pisces or 12th house, Aquarius or 11th house. You could be dealing with Judgment, which I believe, let me double check. I am not too proud to look something up. I believe Judgment is Saturn, but I could be mistaken. Let me just double check here what auspices that is under. So it's fire, it's not even earth. So this is fiery change. And then Hanged Man, I want to see what is, of course the devil is ruled by, as you know, Saturn, or Capricorn rather. Where are we here with Hanged Man, I believe. I'm not even going to take a guess because I'm not that sure. It's water. Okay, very interesting. So we have fire element for Judgment, right, which is fire changes things very swiftly, doesn't it? It can bring life, but it can also be overwhelming and cause harm. So interesting to note here that a judgment needs to be made, but you want to be in the right headspace to do this. It is interesting to see the outcome card being the water-based Hanged Man. And here's where we're looking at sort of action, behavior, spirit, and we're looking at feelings, attitudes, even psychic energy, or knowing versus not knowing what's ahead. So we'll pull more energy for that. Let's get back into the basket that holds everything in here with the devil or temptation. Of course, this is Capricorn. So again, you could be dealing with either these actual individuals. I'm going to suggest it's probably a Pisces individual and the rest of it is just energy, just because I'm looking at a court card versus a major arcana. This is usually energetically versus a person, but I do want to mention it could be a Capricorn person or 10th house or just Capricorn energy, which of course is status, right? It is public status, it's the status quo, it's paternity, it is also associated with obsession. It is also associated with bondage. There's also a sort of, and this could be, if you're a Gemini Venus watching, or if you're any of the Geminis and this is a love reading for you, I would suggest here that there could be a conflict here between what is typically considered lust versus love. There could be a lust versus love situation here. Maybe there is something lusty. We are looking at some lusty energy here whenever we look at devil. This is something that is about the physical world, it's physical pleasure. But again, it could indicate addiction, overemphasis on the physical, overemphasis on status, as opposed to the heart or as opposed to even the spirit. So there could be, just throwing it out there, there could be some type of conflict with those types of worlds, right? Because sex doesn't always equal love and love doesn't always equal sex, and you can be in a loving relationship without say a sex life, etc. So whether this is a new developing or ongoing relationship, whether it is love or not, I'm going to suggest here that there could be, whether it's love and lust, that's trying to find a balance here, or otherwise it could just be a sense of, what is it that you really want out of a relationship, out of the future for yourself, where is it that you belong in your peer group, this type of thing. So we do have some bondage energy here or obsession energy here. Now, I do want to make a caveat that there is always a weakness and a strength to each energy and each card. This, just like maybe the Three of Swords, for example, does have its weaknesses built in. It definitely is, these types of energies act as a little bit of a warning or an input into, maybe suggesting some alternatives. But on the positive side, and I'll look at that in a moment, on the positive side, the temptation or devil card, you can use this to your advantage just like you can anything else, Gemini. So remember, if you do feel like there's an obsession or an overemphasis on something, you can use it to your advantage. Let's say you're working on a very, very intense project right now that is emotionally draining, or it could be a project involving your home, for example, could be very draining. And you're wondering about where to invest your money, just be aware of who you're talking to. If there are investments or properties and you're looking at getting advice for properties or investments, maybe get a second opinion. Another way to look at this too is that maybe you're in a position that you weren't before and it feels unusual and therefore it feels bad or something like that. It could just be a perception here as well. It could be that someone's trying to bring this into your environment as well, where you're just like, no, keep your obsession to yourself. I'm not down with that. Or it could just be an awakening, like, oh, this person doesn't love me. They're obsessed with me, or vice versa. I'm obsessed with them. It's not love, etc. So I'm just throwing out some terminology here. Otherwise, you can use obsession to your advantage. Let's just say you have a deadline and something is due in 48 hours. You're going to be obsessed about completing it, right? So again, it doesn't have to be entirely negative. It's just on how it's used, how it's configured, and how aware we are of this energy, how aware we are of an overemphasis on something. So situation, and what's crossing it is the Six of Swords, as I mentioned, crossed by the Eight of Cups. So here, definitely we're looking at an emotional release, okay? And so both mentally and emotionally, you are absolutely either being called to do this, or you are in pursuit or becoming knowledgeable or needed some sort of confirmation today, for example, that yes, you are mentally and emotionally walking away, you're moving away from something. Could have to do with your home, could have to do with an old wish, could have to do with something that you expected would turn out differently because you had your heart set on something or you were sensitive about something, and it's just not going to work out that way, at least for the first 2 weeks here, guys. There could be either real or perceived lack of something, right? So you weren't getting what you wanted, you weren't getting what you needed, or the other person wasn't, and at least one of you is walking away or making a decision to move away, but it's all for the best, right? Now you get to take the lessons that you learned and you get to take your heart without it being shattered. You don't want that to happen, or you don't want to do that to someone else. So you are still, you know, mentally, emotionally, I would say stable and safe and prepared and knowledgeable to walk away from something, excuse me, that could have to do with the foundation of the matter. And of course, we're looking at the Three of Swords here. Threes are looking at some creative potential. Now, you could be creative about how you're moving away from an emotional situation. This is what's crowning. This is at the foundation. Pardon me, I'm not sick. It's just, I don't know, it must be, the air is really hot and heavy today, and I don't have AC, so if you have AC, crank that up for me. All right, so you can feel it for me. Three of Swords, right? Being at the foundation. I do think you had to come to terms with something here, I think, in order for you to be in this position. Here with the Six of Swords, recognizing that it's time to walk away from something. You have to emotionally remove yourself from something. I think there's a recognition period here. But again, it could have something to do with your home. You could have had to move. You could have had to sell something. There could have been an estate or a whole future involved here. And it just feels like heavy. It feels like everything's being affected here. And there could be a forced obsession to pay attention to something. I don't see the Tower, so I don't think this was, excuse me, very sudden. I don't see this as being very sudden, but it depends on what happened in July. And I'm sorry, I don't remember your July reading, but yeah, I do feel like you could have been prepared for this, or saw this coming, or knew that a decision like this was probably coming. And this is why we see the Three of Swords at the foundation. It's sort of just confirming, like, you know, you had to be creative about how to get away or move away from something, or move away from, maybe it was just understanding that maybe your heart belongs somewhere else. We did have that Seven of Cups jump out at the very, the second group of cards to jump out. I don't know what the other one was, but I know that I know, it was the Seven of Cups, Two of Cups, and then the Ace of Wands. So you could even have a new love interest or a new direction entirely to go in anyway. So I don't really feel here that you're going to be left behind or that you're in a worse off position. I really don't. However, it is going to play a part on your soul, on your heart rather. And this could just be part of your human experience. Like you just had a major letdown, someone let you down, someone didn't come through, something was lust, not love-ish, you know, depending on if it's a love reading for you or not. But, you know, this is part of your story now. This is part of what you can grow from, but we can learn from this. Like I said, from any heavy energy, whether it's the devil, whether it's the Three of Swords, we can learn from this. We can take advantage, right? We can use obsession to our advantage. We can take a broken heart, or we can take a letdown or a loss, and we can use it to our advantage. And you get to be creative here with the 3. You get to be creative about how you get to use that. Remember, guys, it doesn't always mean the end. It doesn't always spell the end. A lot of people can take something that was disastrous or heartbreaking and turn it into something really meaningful. For example, a lot of therapists have had to go through something themselves, right? A lot of you know, health practitioners, if they're naturopaths, they have to experience something themselves, and it makes them better at what they do. So you can use this to your advantage. It's not all is lost. Here in your recent past, your home is indicated, and here it's being mirrored by the 5 of Pentacles. So I do feel like whatever is happening, guys, is definitely affecting your home, or what feels like home, or what could have felt like a wish situation. Maybe you thought something was better than it really was. But like I said, we do have this Pisces Knight of Cups energy in the crown position, which is wonderful. So while this may be affecting your heart and your emotional world right now, you can heal. You might be a little bit sensitive about something right now, but you can reach out if you need help. But sensitivity is a really big part of it, Gemini. And if you recognize that there is a Gemini a Pisces that you're dealing with, which is your opposite sign, by the way, this could be a work situation where you're dealing with a Pisces person who just left, who just quit, or just something like that. It doesn't have to be this overwhelming, like life-altering thing. It's just that there's a minor upset here, and something that you are definitely going to get over very, very soon. In fact, it might even work out for the best. In the long run, it might even be like, it's a pain in the butt right now, but in the near future, it's actually going to work out better. Here's where we're looking at another somewhat difficult energy. So we have the 3 of Swords, Devil, and then I would consider 5 of Pentacles to be somewhat difficult, not unfathomable, and certainly not, it won't sink you, but it is an element where you could feel very strongly that your home has been affected negatively, because the 5 of Pentacles here in your near future is looking at perceived or real loss or lack. There's also, pardon me, there's also a sense of feeling left out, right? All right, so in the position, but that's not going to last, because in the position there's where how you see yourself, there's a great period of healing that is coming in. And this is Aquarius 11th house energy here, guys. This is healing energy. So allow for healing energies to come in. Seek healing opportunities if you are really hurting or feeling left out, whether it's money, body, health, whatever this is about, guys. And also there could be an Aquarian or 11th house issues here as well. So if you do seek healing, you might find it best to seek group therapy, or even something having to do with a group. You could even involve yourself in volunteer work right now. Maybe get out of your head. Maybe get out of your, just get out of your space, get out of your way and find out how to help someone else. This is oftentimes, believe it or not, how we get out of a rut, okay, is we help others. And let others help you, for sure. In the position on how others see you, they see you with a second chance, definitely. This is the call, right? This is judgment. Other people, someone even could be offering you something here. Someone could be presenting something to you that came up in your past that you resisted, or you just weren't ready for whatever reason, frankly. But there is an opportunity here. There's a judgment. There's a new chance or a new way of looking at something. Here in your hopes and fears, we're looking at that 2 of Swords. We have some swords energy as we do back here. So this is mind, thought, communication. So the 2 of Swords is really going to speak to a choice, right? It's a decision that you have to make. And here's where I would really, if you're really unsure and you feel stuck, and we are going to pull a card for the Hangman, because this is a new perspective is necessary with this Hangman. You know, you may feel insecure about what move to make here. And here's why I would rely on professional advice, right? Because Hangman is your advice card. And here, I'm going to pull some more energy for it. Hangman is really saying sacrifice, new perspective is necessary. We see this here. So you don't want to drag some bad energy or negative energy or some old energy from the beginning of the month all the way to the end of the month either. Like, we want to let this go. At least by second, third week here, reach out, right? Because it's just heavy and you don't want to carry this. It's a burden. So I'm going to keep moving forward. We only have a little bit of time. But yeah, Hanged Man. Let's get some more energy. Why is the Hanged Man in the advice card for Gemini, August 2020? A sacrifice or a new perspective is what it's really speaking to of its own accord. Let's qualify it though. If we qualify the Hanged Man as the advice card for Gemini, August 2020. Qualify Hanged Man. All right, so we had, so big creative opportunity, guys. Guys, come on. No, okay, either someone you know who's close to you, who you feel has your heart but may have let you down, or your own self, guys. You need to be creatively, you need to let a creative genius shine right now, straight up. I'm not messing around. I'm not even kidding. Creative genius, please get out of your own way if that's the case. If someone else is holding you back, or you feel somehow, or there's a sensation, or this short-term something or other that affects your home or money or an income, please don't let that stop you, because creative genius, guys. Page of Pentacles, you could be dealing with a younger than you earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We do see Capricorn energy here as well. So guys, enormous creative potential is what the Hanged Man is asking you to consider when it says, as an advice card, you need perspective. You might even need to make a sacrifice. You might even need to sacrifice your own poor opinion of yourself, or what you're capable of, or what you're ready for, etc. Okay, guys, we have a lot of magic energy here for you guys. You know, it's wonderful, actually. I'm really pleased to see all this gorgeous energy. We really needed this. Wow. This could be really fun. If you are a Gemini Venus watching, or if you're a Gemini Sun Moon Rising, and this is a love reading for you, I would say things are about to get exciting by the end of the month. Even if it's not a love reading, things are about to get exciting. And the end of the month holds so much magic, literally, and potential for you. You're actually getting 2 cards of magic, one from the Tarot, as you can see, the Magician, and then you get another, you have the Raven here, which is the card of magic. So you have it within yourself, and maybe part of this is your belief system is holding you back, or self-deprecation is somehow holding you back. Guys, soulmate card and everything. Holy crap. Okay. But ultimately, younger person, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn could be situated. This could be who you could be working with, or this could be who this is over. But certainly this person does hold magic for you, or could have answers for you, or this is a creative venture that you need to take on your own. We have a lot of romance here for you guys. Let's pull these ones first, because this is pretty cray. So we have soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. If this is not a love reading for you, however, it's really cut and dry if it's a soulmate love reading for you. If it's not, I would say that this is, yes, this is your creative calling. Stop second guessing it. We do have romance here. Remember, romance can indicate creative potential. So whether this is creativity, profound creativity, and good news, in a very practical sense, around romance, soulmates, love situations, work, really no matter what it's around. It could be any and all of those, right? Romance is related to Venus, and Venus is related to creativity and bounty, and also femininity and art. So it could have to be the art of love, the art of writing, pardon me, the art of anything. And we have poised and happy. Happy coming out for you, really gorgeous energies. Happy promises you a really beautiful outcome, and I am seeing this here for you. I do see it's a decision you have to make. No one can make it for you, but you can reach out and ask for help. If you need professional advice, stop putting it off. And if you think a group project or group anything would help, do it. And here's where we're looking at our second card of magic. This reading went on entirely too long. Thanks for your patience. But we're looking at 2 cards of magic. Really big deal. You hold the magic cards, guys. You really have a lot more power in your own hands than you may actually believe. If you think it's someone else, if you think someone else is in your way, if you think it's outside of you that's stopping you, you're going to take a little bit of a breather here. You're going to take a little bit of a pause, and you're going to say, no, it's me. It's me. It's all up to me. I get to talk to this person, or I get to not to. I get to take this direction, or I get to not to. It's not up to them. And I think once you take responsibility and ownership of what you're capable of, and how much freedom you really have to do what it is that you creatively need to do right now, then you can take action and be fulfilled that way. So Gemini, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.